Hello, yes, see you again. I hope you like my videos and you like to see my face reading to you this book, Soul of Money, and yeah, and like discuss with me about how do you like this book in future. If you really like after listening to my videos, then you can purchase it yourself. Yeah, at any place, maybe like Kinokuniya or Popular. I do not know where it is, but basically once I share with you this book, then you can get it for yourself, and then you read it from page 1 to page 10, page 1 to the end. Okay, I have this idea inspiration of like reading a book, like some people review a product, right? And I want to review a book, so that this is very meaningful. If you don't really like know or understand the importance of the book, you will not buy it, correct? Yeah, so I have this tendency when I read glance through. I do a speed reading. So I read very fast and I ask the author of what is the intention of this author to tell me about this book. And then from then I just glance through. And this video give me an opportunity to read line by line to practice my reading. I tell you what secrets. I actually have a dyslexia, so when I read I will miss many words, like sometimes the words keep jumping. Yeah, I have that problem. So that's why this exercise of recording a video with you to read with you is a very good for me, and hopefully it's good for you. Okay, so win-win. Right, okay, now we discuss about money is like a water. Okay, so as usual I will skip the stories of the author and go straight to the main point that is important, so then we can learn the gist of the book. Okay, so here it says scarcity versus sufficiency. How do we feel the flow? Yeah, so this is like that money is like water. Money flows through all our lives, sometimes like a rushing river and sometimes like a trickle. When it is flowing, it can purify, cleanse, create growth and nourish. But when it is blocked or held too long, it can grow stagnant and toxic to those withholding or holding it. Okay, like a water, money is a carrier. It can carry blessed energy, possibility and intention, or it can carry control, domination and guilt. This is the main of the emotions about money. When people have money, they tend to control. They want to control, and they also want to dominate people. And at the same time, some people have guilt. Some doesn't make sense, but yes, some people have guilt having money because of the underlying belief of value or belief system that they growing up. They accumulate a lot of guilt about money. So this usually every time have money, it just like can't wait to let go. Yeah, lying to people, buy something that is unuseful. Yeah, so this is many people have a guilt. Okay, let's continue. It can be a current or currency of love, a conduit for commitment, or a carrier of hurt or harm. We can be flooded with money and drown in its excess. And when we dam it up unnecessarily, we keep it out of circulations to the detriment of others. In this condition of scarcity, money shows up not as a flow, but as an amount, something to collect and hold on to stockpile. We measure ourselves worth by our net worth. This is like what I discussed in earlier video, where we measure ourselves, our worth, our self-worth with money. The moment money taken away from them, they become lost. The identity is gone. So they become depressed, useless, and some of them commit suicide. Yeah. Any drop on the balance sheet is experienced as a loss that diminishes us. Grounded in sufficiency, money's movement in and out of our life feels natural. We can see that flow as healthy and true, and allow that movement instead of being anxious about it or hoarding it. In sufficiency, we recognize and celebrate money's power for good, our power to do good with it, and we can experience fulfillment in directing the flow towards our higher ideals and commitment. When we perceive the world as one in which there is enough and we are enough to make the world work for everyone everywhere with no one left out, our money carries the energy and generates relationship and partnership in which everyone feels able and valued regardless of their economic circumstances. Mother Teresa never kept any cash reserve. When I visited her at her orphanage in India, I asked her if she had any advice about fundraising. She replied that her method of fundraising was to pray, and that God had always provided what she needed. Never more, never less. Okay, she operated with no reserves, trusting that God would always provide. In her experience, God always did. As she operated more than 400 centers in 102 countries, and they always seemed to have exactly what they needed, not excess, not more, but not less either. Most of us can't imagine living in that way, and I'm not even suggesting it, but the knowledge that Mother Teresa operated a successful multi-million dollar operation just that way makes you think new about money and flow. Yes, so just now we talk about money. Money is like a water, like an energy. It flows like our blood, So this is something to think about and have a reflection about how are we having experience about money, and how do we feel about money when we give out. How do you feel when your money receive? How do you feel? So when you receive the money, is it very hard for you to give back? So that is something that all of us have to reflect, and including myself. Sometimes I too have this tendency to go back to this scarcity mindset, and the moment I realize, I switch, and I know that that is a survival mode. I need to switch to the abundance mode, because God created us not just to survive, but it's to experience. And we use money to buy that experience with joy, not with fear, not with scarcity. Correct? Yeah, so this is something for you to think about, and also for me to do more reflection on this. Yeah, okay, see you in the next chapter.